Bigg Boss is a reality TV program broadcast in India. It follows the Big Brother format, which was first developed by Endemol in the Netherlands. Concept: Bigg Boss is a reality show based on the original Dutch Big Brother format developed by John de Mol. A number of contestants live in a purpose-built house and are isolated from the rest of the world. Each week, housemates nominate two of their peers for eviction, and the housemates who receives the most nominations would face a public vote. Of these, one would eventually leave, having been evicted from the house. However, there were exceptions to this process as dictated by Bigg Boss. In the final week, there were 3 housemates remaining, and the public voted for who they wanted to win. The housemates in the Indian version are primarily celebrities with the exception of one who is a non-celebrity selected via auditions. Housemates are overseen by a mysterious person known as Bigg Boss, whose only presence in the house is through his voice. The house, a Bigg Boss house, is built for every season. The house was earlier located in the tourist place of Lonavala, Pune district of Maharashtra, however the house for the 5th season is located in Kujat. The house is well furnished and decorated. It has all kinds of modern amenities, but just 1 or 2 bedrooms and 4 toilet bathrooms. There is a garden, pool, activity area and gym in the house. There is also a confession room, where the housemates may be called in by Bigg Boss for any kind of conversation, and for the nomination process. The house has no TV connection, no telephones, no internet connection, clocks, pen or paper. Rules: while all the rules have never been told to the audience, the most prominent ones are clearly seen. The inmates are not permitted to talk in any other language than Hindi. They are not supposed to tamper with any of the electronic equipment or any other thing in the house. They cannot leave the house premises at any time except when permitted to. They cannot discuss the nomination process with anyone. They cannot sleep in daytime. Sometimes, the housemates may be nominated for other reasons, such as nomination by a person who has achieved special privileges, for breaking rules or something else. If something is very serious, a contestant may be evicted directly. Publication: the main television coverage takes the form of a daily highlights program and the weekly eviction show on Fridays that are aired on Colors TV, while the first season was aired on Sony TV. Every day's episodes contain the main happenings of the previous day. Every Saturday episode mainly focuses on an interview of the evicted contestant by the host. The episode on Sunday, named differently across seasons, contains extra footage of the week, which was not included in any episode. Series details: awards, records, most nominations received by male housemates, most nominations received by female housemates, up for eviction the most times, time spent in the house. Statistics: Bindu Dara Singh is the oldest Bigg Boss winner to date, with Ashutosh Kaushik being the youngest. While Bindu won the title when he was 41 years old, Ashutosh won when he was 28. Pooja Misra has received the most eviction votes in the history of Bigg Boss, that is 35. Tanisha Mukherjee has been put up for eviction the most times in the history of the show with a total of 9 nominations. No wild card entrant has won the show to date. Shweta Tiwari and Urvashi Dholakia, winners of Season 4 and 6 respectively, have been co-stars in the past, working in the soap Kasoor Zindagi K, which ended in 2008. Ironically, Shweta was the protagonist and Urvashi the antagonist for the same daily serial that aired on the rival channel Star Plus. All 3 of the winners, Shweta Tiwari, Juhi Parmar and Urvashi Dholakia, have previously been a part of main cast in Ekta Kapoor's serials which aired on channel Star Plus. Season 4 is the only adaptation in the history of Big Brother to have a live wedding during the season. Navant Singh Sidhu is the only housemate to have stayed for longest period inside the house with 0 eviction votes. Ashutosh Kaushik received the maximum eviction votes, that is 29, during the respective season and still emerged as the winner. He was closely followed by Bindu Dara Singh, who had the same fate but slightly a lesser number of total votes, that is 27. Housemates with the highest number of eviction votes received during their respective season are Rupali, Ashutosh, Bindu, Vienna, Pooja M, Sapna and Kushal. Season 3 is the shortest season of the series with just 84 days of run in total, while Season 7 is the longest with 105 days. Devender alias Bunty, who was made the house captain on day 1 during the 4th season, was the first contestant in the history of the show who refused to nominate any housemate for eviction. Consequently, he was placed against public vote and eventually expelled from the house as punishment. Jade Goody was the first international contestant to be featured on the show. Sonika Kaliraman was the first and only pregnant housemate in the history of Big Brother franchise. Housemate pattern, controversies, rigged evictions and pre-scripted conduct of housemates. In the 5th season, audiences figured out that with every weekly eviction, a specific trend followed. The least controversial housemate who has had the negligible interaction in fights gets evicted after getting nominated for that week. It became widely believed that contestants are getting evicted from the show as a result of not making headlines for the reality show. Z News expressed dislike towards the show, saying, barring a few educated and well-mannered celebrities, most of the Bigg Boss contestants have utterly failed to exercise self-restraint. As the format of the show is such that they often fail to maintain their composure and mostly reveal a fake personality. Abuses fly thick and fast in the house, whereas morality, ethos and ethics take a back seat. The fear of eviction makes them selfish and diplomatic, compels them to switch sides for personal gains, and indulge in propaganda. Shakti Kapoor, who was evicted earlier in the show after surviving 4 weeks inside the house, claimed, "People have a wrong notion that I am a bad guy. Bigg Boss people got me with 13 females because they also thought I will sneak into girls' room at night and do something fishy. I respect women a lot," the actor said. "But since I was not getting into anything like this or any fight or controversy, I got evicted. I think there is something planned about my eviction. Everyone in the audience feels there is something wrong. I thought I would win the show and so did the people," he claimed. Pooja Bedi, who was evicted weeks later, also stated in an interview that housemates are merely evicted on the basis of their controversial backgrounds and that the show is pre-scripted. After Pooja Misra's unexpected exit, more than half of the viewers stopped watching the show, claiming that the house was getting boring by the week. Contrary to these outcomes, Pooja Misra was soon sent back in as Andrew Simmons' translator. Evicted housemate Bedi said about her re-entry, "Why else will they bring her in as a translator? She was fined for talking in English herself." She, a Euro unregistered trademark, has been brought back just for TRPs. Singer Rajeshwari, who left the show in October, also claimed, "I am sure the channel decided to bring her back for entertainment value. It will certainly be interesting to see her act as Andwa, Euro unregistered trademark's interpreter," another ex-inmate Shraddha Sharma stated. Theory, a Euro unregistered trademark's no one in the house now were Euro unregistered trademark's giving Maisla to the show, that is why they found a new way to bring her back. In previous seasons of Bigg Boss, a similar tactic was used to attract TRPs. Dolly Bindra and Kamala Khan were also asked to leave the show. However, to encash on their controversial image, Bigg Boss brought them back. Partiality towards specific housemates. Season 3. In the 3rd season, housemate Vindu Dara Singh was often credited as Akshay Kumar's favourite housemate after playing Kumar, a Euro unregistered trademark sidekick in a Euro OECOM-backed ISHQ, a Euro, and becoming good friends with him. With being hated by fellow inmates inside the house for his conduct accompanied by the resentment against him from the audiences, Vindu survived 7 evictions after consecutively getting nominated from 8th week onwards. Vindu went on to win the season and was also announced the most stylish and bold contestant, consequently winning a Chevrolet Cruze and a S10 million. Season 4. During the 4th season, TV actress Sarah Khan openly objected to the Bigg Boss behavior towards fellow housemate Dolly Bindra. Ever since Dolly Bindra re-entered the house, there had been quite a bit of a change in her stance and attitude towards the inmates of the house. Dolly became quite polite and got some benefits, like she was made the queen immediately after she re-entered, thereby enabling her to get certain benefits that the others couldn't even dream of. Thus, with almost everyone quite flabbergasted, Sarah protested against partiality towards Dolly. Sarah kept on complaining that Bigg Boss was not fair, at which Samir Soni, who too had re-entered, agreed with what Sarah had to say. Sarah was later strictly warned by the Bigg Boss and host Salman Khan regarding these vague accusations. Season 5, the fifth season saw a change in the selection of contestants. The launch night featured 14 housemates, 12 of which were girls, 1 transgender and 1 man. The weekly selection of house captain is usually dependent on the votes of the fellow housemates. However, on day 1 Shakti Kapoor, who was the only male entrant on the show, was chosen by the Bigg Boss himself as captain for 2 weeks, making him immune from 2 consecutive nominations and, hence, prolonging his stay inside the house. 3 additional male entries were witnessed in the second, third and the fourth week. Akashdeep Sehgal was very often seen abusing Mehak Chahal on her personal backgrounds but was not warned of his conduct. Siddharth Bhardwaj almost kicked Pooja M while she was walking. Again, no action was taken against him, leaving the impact that Bigg Boss does indeed favors some participants on the show to extend their stay inside the house. Moreover, the male participants were also witnessed threatening Bigg Boss that they would exit the house and were often seen exhibiting irrational traits like throwing off their mix and speaking absolutely in English language, which are against the rules of the house. On day 58, Shraddha Sharma abused Akashdeep by calling him a swear word. Akashdeep was later called in the confession room and consoled to calm, with Shraddha Sharma scolded for the act. An ex-inmate Pooja Bedi accused Salman Khan of favouring Mehak Chahal, claiming that he is the reason for her survival in every eviction. Talking to a tabloid, Pooja said, "No one can object to her behaviour because then he or she gets portrayed negatively. Everyone in the house thinks Salman is calling the shots. They're unnerved." Reportedly, Salman even rebuked Siddharth Bhardwaj for having a tiff with Mehak. So the other contestants have no choice but to remain submissive. "I like Salman. I'd be very distressed if he was protecting and helping Mehak to get to the finals," added Pooja. Another evicted housemate, Pooja Misra, confirmed favoritism towards Mehak Chahal, alleging, "My eviction from the house on the grounds of me being violent was wrong and my second entry in Bigg Boss just proved that." Moreover, the wild card entry of Mehak into the house again is proof enough that there is favoritism happening in the house. On the Mehak-Salman connection, Pooja said, "Mehak is definitely after him, I don't know whether Salman is or not. Every conversation of her would have Salman's name, and because of this everyone in the house used to be scared of her. It was like everyone has to be good to her to survive the game." Pooja feels the footage where Mehak is seen excessively talking about Salman have been done away with. "She hasn't been shown using his name persistently, so I guess it is correct that the footage was edited," she said. Just 2 weeks before the finale, evicted housemate Mehak Chahal was deliberately made win a wild card entry poll, merely 14 days after her initial eviction, further confirming all the allegations against her being Salman Khan's favourite candidate. This stint not only disappointed fans of the inmates inside the house who have been surviving evictions for many weeks, but also certified partial judgments made towards specific housemates by the Bigg Boss. Season 6, soon after the entry of Kashif Qureshi, a common man chosen via auditions held across India, as an inmate of the house. The whole exercise of selecting an unknown person to be part of Bigg Boss seemed to have come into question and has been reportedly a planned one. After Kashif was selected from the 3 short-listed hopefuls to enter the house, the media scrutinized every detail that linked to Kashif's background. Unexpectedly, Qureshi was found to personally know Salman Khan since he was shooting Wanted. Manipulation and interference by hosts. Unlike the international versions of Big Brother, in Bigg Boss, the hosts are seen to be intimidating contestants on the show for their conduct and are often witnessed interfering in almost everything, exhibiting a partial stance towards few. On the opening of the season 5, Salman and Sanjay ridiculed Shakti Kapoor after he entered the house, saying, "Bigg Boss ko maana padaga. Shakti Kapoor jais log on ko apna bulaya, hum to kabhi na bulayan." Euro. Shakti was hurt by these remarks and demanded an apology from Salman, however, was never reached by either Khan or Dutt. Later, Salman Khan and Sanjay Dutt also lashed out at Siddharth Bhardwaj for being too unmanly with Megh Chahal and Pooja Misra, and the same continued with other housemates a few weeks later when Salman Khan went inside the house on December 17, 2011 and severely scolded contestants for their behaviour. Such traits showed by the hosts have yet been never witnessed on any international series of Big Brother. On December 24, 2011, Sanjay Dutt displayed an furious attitude towards Joey Palmer, Akashdeep Sahgal and Sunny Leone for bringing out a problem that concerned them regarding Amara Patai's indecent moves on female housemates. Evicted housemate Pooja Bedi, after watching the episode, in fury, claimed, "It's clear Salman went in there to demoralize, confuse, hurt and lie to Sky. Any guesses as to why he would misuse his position to do so?" Salman previously had threatened Sid, and said, he would kick his ass. Hosts cannot intimidate contestants. Wrong. If contestants are bad, they get nominated, and if public dislikes them, they get eliminated. That's reality TV, not hosts threatening. If Salman can get aggressive with contestants, why is he upset they do so with each other? From altering the results to controlling appearances of celebrities, all was witnessed to be formatted by co-host Salman Khan. Due to the remarks made by Pooja Bedi on Salman's interference with the results and favoritism towards Megh Chahal, Pooja was banned from attending the season finale to be held on January 7, 2012. The actress was humiliated on this last-minute change and expressed, "So what if I disagree with the host and don't like a contestant? Is that reason for channel not to have me at finale?" Pooja Bedi further stressed, "Have asked channel to state reason I cannot be there at finale to cheer my friends on. Also, till yesterday I was to do a medley. What changed?" Bollywood actor Hrithik Roshan was also refused entry in the finale. Hrithik was supposed to promote his upcoming release Agnipath on the grand finale of the TV show. Sanjay Dutt, the main villain of the film, being a part of the show should have helped the marketing initiative. However, Salman put his foot down and asked Imran Khan to promote Karan Johar's next production Ek Main Aur Ek Tu on the grand finale. Soon, Pooja Misra and Shakti Kapoor also fell targets. They also were banned from attending the finale for speaking against Khan in the media. Few days prior to the finale, a re-invitation was sent to Shakti and Pooja Misra. However, Pooja Bedi was not invited in retaliation, into which Pooja B contemplated sending a legal notice to Colours Channel for chucking her out of Bigg Boss finale. Guests: The Bigg Boss house has witnessed temporary stays of illustrious celebrities during the 4th and the 5th seasons. Names who appeared on the show as Aussie guests are listed below. See also, Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother 5, controversial series of the UK's Celebrity Big Brother involving Season 2 host Shilpa Shetty and Season 2 housemate Jade Goody. Jade Goody appeared on the same UK version of Celebrity Big Brother with Season 2 presenter Shilpa Shetty, later to become a Season 2 housemate. Bigg Boss Bangla, and Bigg Boss Canada, regional language versions, that follow the same or similar format. References. External links. Official website, Bigg Boss on Twitter, Bigg Boss at the Internet Movie Database.